What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, and the scheduling for this video is going to be really kind of weird, because by the time this goes up, the Game Awards will have already happened, and will have likely had a new Crash game announced. But I'm recording this before the Game Awards because I'm not sure if I can get a full video done and finished in time after they happen. I like to upload at least once every 4 days, and the Game Awards are happening right at the end of the halfway point from my last video. So that's why I'm not discussing whatever brand new Crash game was announced, but if I somehow did have the time and did upload a video about it before this, then this whole beginning explanation doesn't really matter anymore. So yay. But anyways, I'm sure you get the point. Now with Crash Team Racing, the Winter Festival has just been announced, and we have characters like Chick, Stu, Rillaroo, Yaya Panda, and even a new character named Hasty, or Fasty. I'm not really sure what they're gonna go with. But he's based off a misconception about a supposedly cut character from the original Crash Team Racing, and with information and lore like that, you must think they're scraping the bottom of the barrel with characters they can add. But you'd be pretty surprised to find that there's still a handful of very important characters that we have yet to see. So I figured we could take a look at them, and this is in no particular order. Whoever I discuss first isn't the least important. This isn't a countdown. Anyways, let's begin. First up we have Emperor Velo himself, and he's been highly requested for a very long time. I'm honestly surprised he's not in yet because he's the last remaining Crash Bandicoot racer. I mean, Willy Wumpa-Cheeks from Tag Team Racing still has yet to be announced, but he didn't exactly race any. According to an Activision blog about the Winter Festival update, the next Grand Prix is going to be called Rustland, and will have a post-apocalyptic theme, so I'm personally expecting lots of robots, which could include Emperor Velo, because for those who haven't beaten Crash Nitro Kart, Emperor Velo is revealed to be a robot that the smaller, real Velo was controlling the entire time. It could include the evil twins as well, because their home, Twinsanity Island, looks like a post-apocalyptic version of the Wumpa Islands. And it would be cool to see the evil twins too, but we're focusing on Emperor Velo right now. Now, I'm still not sure why he hasn't made it back in the game yet, but my little goofball theory is that they're waiting until Steve Bloom is available so they can get him back to reprise his role. I just can't imagine Velo without the booming, rumbling voice of Orochimaru or Spike Spiegel. Next up we have Elora, or more of Spyro's friends. Please forgive me for this super bad drawing of Elora. I made it a long time ago because there's no good renders of reignited Elora that I could use. I'll make a better one someday. But anyways, yes, Elora or more of Spyro's friends, because for the Spyro and Friends Grand Prix, we only really got one friend, Hunter, and then one enemy, Nasty Nork. We need more friends. Now, according to data mines, Ripto and the Sorceress were supposed to appear as well, but they didn't, perhaps being saved later for a different Grand Prix. Even then though, those are still enemies. I'd like to see more friends come with them too, like Elora, or Bianca, or even the Professor. With Grand Prix starting to have more than 3 characters more often, it makes it more likely that we'll get to see more of them, which makes me happy. But yeah, it just seemed odd to me how small the Spyro Grand Prix actually was for something as important as a crossover. I was expecting him to get his own cup of races, or even his own battle map. That's something new I'd like to see an update try out, make a new battle track. So yeah, we need a few more Spyro characters, or just Elora is fine. She's my favorite. Number 3 is a character I'm also surprised isn't playable yet. It's the lab assistant enemies. Mario Kart has shown us that having standard enemies from your levels as playable characters can still work very well, with the Koopa Troopas, the Boos, and I think even Wiggler was playable at some point. The closest Crash Team Racing has to a standard enemy as a playable character is Baby T, but he doesn't really count as an enemy. He's obviously more of a Yoshi type character. But yeah, the lab assistants would be the best way to kick off adding standard enemies as playable racers to the game, and they would be really fun too as they have all kinds of alternate skins already pre-made for you. They of course have their lab coats, they have hazmat suits, they have Egyptian attire, they have safari outfits. They even have wizard robes. There's so much potential there. The upcoming Rustland Grand Prix I mentioned earlier actually sounds like the perfect time to include them. Just this massive army of leftover work assistants from Cortex being constantly produced as no one's left around in this post-apocalyptic future to turn off the machine that's producing them. That sentence was a much bigger mouthful than I was expecting, but yeah, the lab assistants would be really cool racers. Character number 4 isn't specifically Jak and Daxter, despite what you may be seeing on screen, it's just another guest character. Now, Spyro of course got his own event because he has strong ties to Crash and has appeared in a Crash racing game before, Crash Nitro Kart on the Game Boy Advanced. But I still think there's room for a bit more. Something that could potentially keep hype up for lots of the regular players since characters that are highly requested like Nina, Pasadena, and Yaya are now in the game. Some people are a bit worried that it'll make the game not feel like Crash anymore, but just look at Mario Kart. They have inklings from Splatoon, Legend of Zelda, and 2 Animal Crossing characters. All characters that are in Super Smash Bros, yet it doesn't feel like Super Smash Bros. Kart, it still feels like Mario Kart. The real question comes with who would they add, because since Crash is a popular PlayStation character, it would have to be another character who's popular on PlayStation, but not an exclusive so they could put him on other consoles. Yeah, all those first-party and third-party rules don't just apply to Smash, which is why we haven't seen someone like Mario join Crash's racing game yet. But who knows, Sony has been making some weird steps lately, like developing one of their first-party titles for the Nintendo Switch and Xbox, MLB The Show. So perhaps they wouldn't mind sharing one of their exclusive characters like Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank across all 3 consoles in Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. We'll have to see, but another guest character would be exciting no matter who it is. Then finally we come to character number 5, who is actually a very huge part of Crash's history, yet is constantly being massively overlooked. It's the Crash Suit guy. I'm not kidding, we need the guy in the Crash Bandicoot suit from the advertisements to make his debut as a playable character. It's time. Real quick pause, guys. Okay, so during the making of this video, I sent out a tweet with a Crash Suit Guy suggestion, and Activision actually responded, saying I should send the suggestion in the feedback form to get the team to notice this idea and take it into consideration. And this tweet has gained a lot of traction in a surprisingly short amount of time, so we could actually do this, guys. We could get Crash Suit Guy in Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. I'll link the tweet in the description below so you can go to it, go to the feedback form, and suggest Crash Suit Guy yourself. Let's get him in, guys. We can do this. Okay, back to the video. You can't have a celebration of everything Crash like Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled without inviting this guy to the party. He challenged Mario directly, he had a dance-off with Sonic the Hedgehog, he's advertised most of the games, and he even announced Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled himself at the Game Awards. And he's likely going to announce the next Crash game there as well. Remember what I said at the beginning of this video, I'm recording all this before the Game Awards. So yeah, the Crash Suit Guy has been there since the very beginning, and we've seen him more than a lot of characters on the Nitro-Fueled roster. Not only that, but he'd just be a very funny addition in general. All the quips he'd make, his voice is just hilarious in general to listen to. They could even motion capture his victory animations for some really funny stuff. Some fan artists have even drawn this concept out already and it looks really good. So hopefully Crash Suit Guy makes it to Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. And those are 5 characters that we still need. Let me know who you're looking forward to in the comments section below. LeopoldTheBrave, out.